as I was saying, being environmentally conscious is not only an economic benefit, but it's a prerogative for our survival here on Earth, and for the survival and the, what's the noun form of thrive? Of thrival? I don't know. Of the continued success and progress for humanity on not only Earth, but throughout the universe. We have no other planet to go to, people. There's an incomprehensible amount of planets out there, infinite planets, but we can't access them. And even if we could, do we really want to ruin for forever the birthplace of humanity? Don't we want to keep this as our flagship in the universe, as our hub? It's our home. And even as we inevitably move on and get involved with other planets and create other homes in the universe, we're only going to destroy those too if we don't set a precedent now for taking care of our home. So, I see as one of the most important things about this current time that we're in is understanding, becoming aware of the consumerist mindset that has been promoted throughout the world, of consuming, is taking in as much as possible, never having enough, never being content, always looking for more, for bigger, better, all of that. And truly, in this economic time of exploitation, of massive exploitation, and massive consumerist goods, fostering contentedness is quite possibly the greatest opportunity that we have here. In the face of the greatest temptations of greed, the greatest temptations of consumerism, now is the time to appreciate living. Are we going to be happy if we have the most expensive this, the greatest that, the most shiny whatever? No. Getting engrossed in technology, that's not going to make us happy. So I strongly urge you to meditate, to appreciate where you are, what you have, who you are. Not trying to change to fit some kind of idea of the ideal body image. Every body image is ideal. It's perfect exactly as it is. And again, as I've said in my video, another video, we're all beautiful exactly as we are. I see people who are said to be overweight as just as beautiful as the ideal body image. I don't buy into that consumerist mindset of you must look a certain way to be attractive. No, it's not true. And from my experience, my understanding astrologically, that's not true either. Energies is what really attracts people together, not just what you see visually. Not such superficial things as how somebody looks. It's how somebody is, how they vibrate, how they resonate. So I strongly urge you, indeed this is quite possibly in addition to international awareness of workers' rights and the well-being of people around the world, and having fair economic conditions, equal to that in my mind, my perspective, is the opportunity to embrace contentedness, again, in the face of great temptation. We see the excess of greed, we see the excess. I mean, again, any amount of greed is excess, but the greed that has just skyrocketed out of control. We see it, how it destroys. Those people who make the millions, the tens of millions, all that, do you think they're happy? They're not. They're not. It's never enough for them. There's always somebody else who has a bigger house, a bigger car, a shinier car, a wife that's even more of a trophy wife, whatever. It's never enough for those people. And indeed, the people that they screwed over to have that kind of money. I'm not saying every rich person has become wealthy through screwing other people over, but in our economic system, it really does perpetuate human beings exploiting other human beings, screwing them over for their own benefit. It's horrible. Can you live with that on your conscience? Can you make tens of millions of dollars at the expense of human beings and be happy? No, you can't. You may think you can, You can't. Nobody can. Not really, because that's not what life's all about. Life is precious in and of itself. As I was saying before, because you're unemployed doesn't make you worthless. Nothing can make you worthless. Even those people with the runaway greed who have exploited, they're not worthless. They have some huge lessons to learn and some not pretty karma to work with. But they're not worthless. They're not enemies. They're people. So appreciate. That's the greatest opportunity that we have here, is doing away with trying to have everything, and to just appreciate what you do have, to just appreciate existence of itself, which is more rich than any material object could ever be. Meditate, as I was saying. Still the mind. Get in tune with yourself. Appreciate yourself. That's what we're all really searching for, isn't it? Feeling self-love. Isn't that the richest thing that we could have? And it's free. It's difficult to procure all the time, but through practice, it's possible. Anything is possible, and especially enforcing behaviors that promote self-compassion and compassion for others. That is the greatest rich, the greatest resource that we have at our disposal. And it's the only perennial one. So, we have a choice in each of our lives and as a world. Do we continue to rape our planet for resources, working mindless jobs for mindless ends, leading to the exploitation of ourselves and others, only to find at the end of our lives, hopefully sooner, but quite possibly at the end of our lives, and maybe even into the next life, that that's not really what we were here for. It's not why we incarnated on this planet. Are we going to do that? Destroying our planet in the process, not giving a damn about people's rights, letting them suffer, becoming those people karmically, suffering ourselves if we don't help others in their suffering. We're going to suffer ourselves in the same way. Karma's funny like that. Or are we going to embrace contentedness, appreciating where we are, appreciating ourselves, being active socially, pushing for economic fairness, for sustainable models of growth, pushing for a more interesting, intelligent world, not based off of consumerist goods, but off of intellectual capital in which human beings get together in classrooms, as I was saying, through services like astrology, psychology, anything that you can imagine, of people coming together, sharing ideas, intellectual capital, supporting our environment, sustaining it, eventually moving on to other planets, but still having our home, our birthplace in the universe, a birthplace that even despite the infinite number of planets, we cannot replicate. For nothing out there is Earth. Maybe similar, maybe even be eerily similar, but it is not Earth. Will we support our home? Will we support ourselves, our true selves? These are our two choices. It's very easy for me. I've chose long ago which one of those I was. Even really before this lifetime I chose. So I urge you to choose for yourself, to foster this contentedness. Again, it's not easy, but it's the most rewarding thing that you will ever possibly do. And it will give you more satisfaction, raw fulfillment of your life. Those amazing moments where you just go, wow, I'm so grateful to even be able to feel this kind of fulfillment. I never would have imagined it possible. That only arises through being content where you are. Enjoying the different pleasures of life, of having a body, being able to feed yourself with delicious food, clothe yourself with very comfortable and beautiful artistic clothing, having a shelter that's nice and that is very convivial. All that's nice, but that doesn't replace, it never could, replace inner satisfaction, inner richness. Cultiver le jardin intérieur, the cultivating the inner garden. I can't remember which French philosopher said that. Was it Descartes? No, Voltaire? I believe Voltaire. I'm not positive though. It seems like a very easy choice, but we need to back up that choice with action, with consciousness, with effort. And as I said before, by uniting together as human beings, it's always the solution. Always. And it starts with the individual, always. So, I urge you, my friend, to be content. To breathe easy. To let go of economic fears and tensions and worries. To realize that you're not in this alone, we're all going through it. And for pushing for economic change peacefully, and yet firmly, never giving up. To not create enemies, saying, oh, it's us versus them, or us versus them. Not even with those that exploit us, the working people. They're not your enemies, they're just horribly, horribly misguided, horribly lost. I feel sad for them more than anything.